Spider-Man Remastered and Miles Morales Minimum, Recommended, Ray Tracing 4K, 60 frames per second PC specs. Minimum and recommended PC specs. Not much else has been shown on the PC versions of both Spider-Man games, however we do now know the minimum and recommended PC specs. Minimum, 720p, 30 frames per second. Graphic presets, very low. GPU, Nvidia GeForce GTX 950 or AMD equivalent. CPU, Intel Core i3-4160 or AMD equivalent. RAM, 8GB. OS, Windows 10 64-bit. Storage, 75GB HDD. Recommended, 1080p, 60 frames per second. Graphic presets, medium. GPU, Nvidia GeForce GTX 1066GB or AMD Radeon RX 580. CPU, Intel Core i5-4670 or AMD Ryzen 5 1600. RAM, 16GB. OS, Windows 10 64-bit. Storage, 75GB SSD. Very high, 4K, 60 frames per second. Graphic presets, very high. GPU, Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070 or AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT. CPU, Intel Core i5-11400 or AMD Ryzen 5 3600. RAM, 16GB. OS, Windows 10 64-bit. Storage, 75GB SSD. Ray tracing modes and requirements. In addition to the 3 standard graphics mode detailed above, there are 2 ray tracing modes. Amazing ray tracing, 1440p, 60 frames per second or 4K, 30 frames per second. Graphic presets, high, ray tracing high. GPU, Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070 or AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT. CPU, Intel Core i5-11600K or AMD Ryzen 7 3700X. RAM, 16GB. OS, Windows 10 64-bit. Storage, 75GB SSD. Ultimate ray tracing, 4K, 60 frames per second. Graphic presets, high, ray tracing very high. GPU, Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080 or AMD Radeon RX 6950 XT. CPU, Intel Core i7-12700K or AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. RAM, 32GB. OS, Windows 10 64-bit. Storage, 75GB SSD.